Have you ever been woken up in the middle of the night by a painful jolt in your leg that felt like your muscle had turned into a knot? You're sleeping soundly, and suddenly, your calf seizes up like it's in protest. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. For many people over 60, leg cramps are a regular, sometimes nightly, nuisance. But what if I told you that something you're eating, without even realizing it, could be making those cramps worse? Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just part of getting older, right? But let's slow down a second. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. And more importantly, it doesn't mean it's inevitable. In fact, doctors are warning that certain everyday foods, ones that many of us eat without a second thought, could be silently contributing to muscle cramps, especially as we age. And here's the real kicker. The older we get, the more sensitive our muscles and nerves become to imbalances in our diet. Even small things, like what's on your dinner plate, can set off that sharp, twisting pain in your legs when you're just trying to get some rest. Today, we're going to have a real talk about what might be triggering those cramps and what you can do to stop them. Grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and stick with me, because this could make a big difference in how you sleep tonight and how you move tomorrow. Now, before we get into the foods you shouldn't be eating, let's take a moment to understand why leg cramps become more common after 60. As we age, our muscles naturally lose mass and flexibility. That's normal. But what most people don't realize is that our body also becomes less efficient at managing minerals, like potassium, magnesium, and calcium, which play a key role in keeping our muscles relaxed and functioning properly. Even slight changes in these levels can set off a cramp. Add to that slower circulation, certain medications, and, yes, diet, and it's a perfect storm for those dreaded nighttime cramps. But here's the good news. You have more control over it than you might think. And it starts with food. Let's begin with one of the biggest culprits hiding in plain sight: processed deli meats. Ham, turkey, salami, those are prepackaged sandwich meats that are just so easy to grab. The problem with these is not just that they're processed, it's what's in them. They're loaded with sodium, preservatives like nitrates, and artificial flavorings. And when sodium levels rise too high, your body responds by flushing out potassium, one of the key minerals your muscles need to stay relaxed. It's like your muscles are begging for potassium, but you're unknowingly washing it away every time you bite into a salty sandwich. This imbalance can lead to cramping, especially at night when circulation slows and your body's trying to repair and restore itself. And the worst part? Many people turn to deli meats thinking they're choosing a lighter option, something quick and protein-rich. But that quick fix could be quietly setting you up for pain later. If you've been dealing with leg cramps and you often include these meats in your meals, it's time to take a closer look at your lunch habits. All right, so we've tackled the first food. Let's move to another sneaky source of trouble: diet sodas and artificial sweeteners. Now I get it. Many folks switch to diet drinks thinking it'll help them cut back on sugar or manage their weight. And on the surface, that makes sense. But here's the twist. Artificial sweeteners, especially ones like aspartame, have been linked to muscle spasms, joint pain, and, yes, leg cramps. Aspartame and similar sweeteners can interfere with your nerve signals and mess with how your muscles contract and relax. For some people, the effects are immediate. Within hours of drinking a diet soda, they'll feel twitching or tension in their calves or feet. Others might notice it gradually over time as these chemicals accumulate in the system. And let's not forget, diet sodas are also highly acidic. That acidity forces your body to work overtime to balance your pH levels, often pulling alkaline minerals like calcium and magnesium away from your bones and muscles to compensate. Again, we're talking about nutrients your muscles need to stay cramp-free. It's a double whammy. If you're someone who enjoys a few cans of diet soda a day or uses artificial sweeteners in your coffee, tea, or even in bacon, you might want to start cutting back. You don't have to quit cold turkey, but reducing your intake can make a big difference in how your legs feel, especially when you're trying to sleep. Now that we've talked about salty meats and sneaky sweeteners, there's one more food that's especially important to mention. And this one might surprise you, because it's something that's often seen as healthy, especially in the morning. But for many people over 60, it's doing more harm than good when it comes to leg cramps, and that food is breakfast cereal. Yep, even the ones that come in boxes with words like heart healthy or whole grain stamped all over them. I know it might sound odd at first. How could a simple bowl of cereal cause leg cramps? But stick with me here, because the answer lies in what's really inside that box. Most cereals, even the so-called healthy ones, are packed with refined carbohydrates and hidden sugars. And when your blood sugar spikes after eating them, your insulin levels rise too. This sudden shift in your blood chemistry can affect how your body holds on to important minerals like magnesium and potassium. Your kidneys get a signal to flush more of these minerals out through urine, and just like that, you're left with less of the good stuff your muscles need to stay relaxed and cramp-free. Even worse, some fortified cereals use synthetic vitamins and minerals that your body may not absorb well, especially as you get older. It's like putting on a show of nutrition without actually delivering the real benefits. While that bowl of flakes might seem harmless or even beneficial, it could be silently contributing to those stiff, cramping muscles later in the day or while you're asleep. And let's be honest, many of us grew up with cereal as a breakfast staple. It's fast, easy, familiar. But if you've noticed an increase in leg cramps and you're still starting your day with cereal, this might be a change worth considering. Try switching to something more balanced and less processed. Maybe some eggs with sautéed greens, or a smoothie with magnesium-rich spinach and banana. These kinds of meals support your muscles, your nerves, and your energy levels without creating the mineral roller coaster that cereals often do. Now, I know all of this might sound like a lot. Cutting back on deli meats, ditching diet sodas, rethinking breakfast. But here's the truth. Small changes add up fast. You don't need to overhaul your entire kitchen overnight. Start with one thing. If soda's your go-to, swap it out with a flavored water or herbal tea a few days a week. If you love cereal, try replacing it just a couple mornings with oatmeal topped with nuts and fruit. Every little step is a step toward fewer cramps, better sleep, and more energy during the day. And while we're on the topic of helping your body, I want to mention one more thing that often gets overlooked: hydration. Yes, I know it sounds simple, maybe even boring, but staying well hydrated is one of the best things you can do to prevent cramps, especially as you get older. Our thirst signals become weaker with age, so we might not always feel thirsty, even when our body is crying out for water. When you're dehydrated, your muscles are more likely to misfire. Think of water as the oil that keeps your body's engine running smoothly. Without it, things start to stick, seize, and sputter. If you've been brushing off that dry mouth or skipping water during the day, consider this your gentle nudge to grab a glass right now. And here's a tip that works wonders for a lot of folks. Add a pinch of sea salt and a splash of lemon to your water once or twice a day. It helps replenish electrolytes and keeps your minerals balanced. Especially helpful if you've been sweating, taking certain medications, or just feeling a little off. It's a simple habit, but one that can make a real difference. I know some of this might feel overwhelming, especially when it comes to changing long-standing habits. But you're not alone in this. Many people over 60 are struggling with leg cramps, not realizing that a few changes to their diet could bring real relief. The good news is, you've already taken the first step just by being here, learning what might be causing the problem and opening yourself up to change. That's the kind of mindset that leads to real results. Not chasing some miracle cure, but understanding your body and giving it what it really needs to heal and feel better. You deserve to feel good in your body, to move freely, to sleep peacefully, and to wake up without that dreadful cramp yanking you out of bed. And that's exactly what we're working toward here. Let's keep going, because there's still one more important factor we need to talk about. Something a lot of folks overlook when trying to manage cramps, but it could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Because while cutting out the wrong foods is a huge step forward, there's something just as powerful, and that's making sure your muscles are getting the right kind of support. You see, it's not just about what to avoid. It's also about giving your body the tools it needs to stay strong and pain-free, especially as you age. One of the most overlooked tools, magnesium. This mineral is like a secret weapon when it comes to muscle health, yet most people over 60 aren't getting nearly enough of it. It helps regulate how your muscles contract and relax, keeps nerve signals steady, and even supports your heart rhythm. When magnesium levels drop, and they often do with age, that's when the cramps come knocking. Now, here's the thing. Even if you're eating a decent diet, the magnesium in our food today just isn't what it used to be. Soil depletion over the decades means fruits and vegetables often carry less of the minerals our bodies rely on. Even with good intentions, you might still fall short. That's why a lot of people over 60 benefit from a magnesium supplement, or better yet, magnesium-rich foods like spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, or even a relaxing Epsom salt bath, which lets your body absorb magnesium through the skin. It's soothing, simple, and a lovely bedtime ritual if nighttime cramps are your struggle. And speaking of rituals, let's not underestimate the power of gentle movement. I know, when your legs are cramping, the last thing you want to do is stretch or move around. But gentle motion is one of the best ways to improve circulation, flush out toxins, and keep those muscles flexible. A 5-minute walk after dinner or a few ankle rolls before bed can work wonders. Even something as small as wiggling your toes and flexing your calves while watching TV can help prevent blood pooling and tension that might lead to a cramp later. Now, I want you to picture something for a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and not feeling that tight knot in your calf or that sharp tug behind your knee. Imagine going through the day without constantly worrying if your leg is going to seize up when you sit too long or take a wrong step. That freedom is possible, and it starts with these small but meaningful changes. It's not about being perfect. It's not about cutting out every food you love or overhauling your entire routine. It's about noticing what your body is telling you and choosing to listen. Because your body is always speaking. It just gets louder when we ignore it. Those cramps, that's your body's way of saying, "Hey, I need a little help down here." Now that you know some of the hidden triggers, those salty deli meats, the diet sodas, the sneaky sugars in cereal, you can start to make more informed choices. You can begin swapping in foods that nourish rather than deplete, and you can support your muscles with better hydration, more magnesium, and a little more daily movement. And don't underestimate the impact of these changes. I've seen folks who've struggled with cramps for years start sleeping through the night again just by tweaking what's on their plate. I've heard stories from people who had given up on finding relief, who thought the cramps were just a part of aging, suddenly feel like themselves again. Remember, aging isn't about decline. It's about adaptation. And when you give your body what it needs, it rewards you with more comfort, better energy, and greater ease in your daily life. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. You are not powerless. You have more influence over how you feel than you've been told. Your body wants to feel better. It just needs your help. And even small, consistent changes can lead to big results. If this video helped you or gave you something to think about, I'd love to hear from you. What foods have you noticed trigger your cramps? What's worked for you in the past? Let's get the conversation going down in the comments. Your story might just help someone else who's going through the same thing. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give the video a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more tips like this. We're building a community here of folks who believe that it's never too late to feel better, live better, and move through life with confidence. Take care of those legs. You've still got plenty of steps left in them. Here's to living your best life, one cramp-free night at a time.